Trust you'll keep what you've seen here in confidence. The coppers will look the other way, but still, you never know. I'm ready for that surgery. Perfect. Accompany you to my lab. When the surgery's over, you'll be ready to dance an Irish jig. Still leery of his surgical prowess, but with just the single eye. But it's too late to start harping on the details. Alright, the new leg is ready and everything prepared. Nod. Don't worry, Teddy. This is not unlike all the times you installed a new module on me. I don't know what to say to that. I won't be removing that much tissue, but I do need to trim back some of the scarring. Then I'll open up the stump for the integration. Relax now. Well, how does it feel? This is marvelous. The pain is gone. And the balance is perfect. It works great. Thank you. Now, not only will you get you around town, in a few days it will start giving you nervous feedback. Almost like having a real leg again. And the injections? Oh, you won't need those for another week at least. Well, much to do. Good luck, Teddy. I'll let you show yourself out. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget your old leg, or I'll sell it off for scrap. I'll go ahead and grab that. The old ball and socket, so to speak. Perhaps it's a part of me that I no longer need. Let's take it with you. Might not be putting my weight on it anymore, but I can still find a use for it. Maybe I can sell it off to an interested party. Sorry. The walking didn't seem quite right there for a second. I think my movement speed is up. Look at me go! Okay, maybe my movement speed isn't up. Alright. One man's treasure. Now somebody's got some gears. What's this? A chair, eh? I've seen chairs before. If Clara's home up in here, maybe I can get some gears off of her? Actually, kind of surprised I'm still Teddy. I figured this surgery'd put me out for a while. Greetings, sir. Can I interest you in one of the affordable suites? Thank you. No, I have a clock tower that suits me just fine. Passing through. Clock tower. How unique. Does it not keep you up at night? Nah, I'm a sound sleeper. Doesn't trouble me any more than that tickling of that steam boiler of yours. Ticking? Explain about the boiler. Sure, metal pipes expanding and contracting in the walls. I find it soothing. Fascinating. Madame, I am Otto the automaton. As part of my machine learning module on politeness, I request to engage in small talk. How are you? Well, Otto, the automaton, madam is my mother. My apologies, miss. Thank you. It's rude to ask a woman her age. I do not understand. Perhaps to do with fear of mortality, coming to terms with aging. I have never considered such a thing. Try to explain. Well, dwarves like me are pretty long-lived, and you'll keep running forever, so as long as you can get the parts, but not everyone is like you and me. I see. Fear of shutdown. That's certainly one way of putting it. What are you two muttering about? Oh, nothing of consequence. I never introduced myself, did I? I'm Teddy Redgrave, engineer and monster hunter. I'm Sorry, the concierge. Nice to meet you, Sorry. Likewise. So you're really a monster hunter? Sure am. In fact, I just got off a job. Nasty piece of business down in the sewers. Ugh. Better you than me. I quite agree. Well, Teddy, it has been an unexpected pleasure, but I'd best get back to my job. Of course, she ain't keep you. Come along, Otto. Goodbye, sorry, the concierge. Yeah, I don't suppose I can just walk right up into Clara's room. Good. That would be rude. Wouldn't want some random cove wandering into my workshop. It's likely the hotel guests would feel the same way. They saw an outsider like me in the hallway. Ah, fair. But she's got gears, I think. Somebody's got gears. Let's talk to Yves Chalamet Duval while we're in the neighborhood. Is he hanging around here? I feel like this is where he hangs around. Man, I guess not. He's not here. We'll head off to the Red Lotus. Or we'll talk to the rat catcher. He's in the neighborhood. Hey, Pavel. Teddy. Grand to see you again. Anything else you needed? Regrettably, no. But I wish you a booming day of sales. Man, I kind of thought, I thought he was supposed to be a lead on Sykes. I mean, if he's not out here with the vagrants, what do you think he went down to the sewer hideout? We've been there a million times and never saw anybody there. Could have swore I went down there with Teddy, but that was before we talked to Molly, and so maybe he just popped down there now. Might be beneficial to get to him before we do anything else. I wouldn't want to wait till night to catch a werewolf. Back into the sewers. Wait. We were supposed to talk to Dolores about getting a cop uniform. With that, maybe we can get Sykes to come with us willingly. Maybe that's why Pavel didn't have any clues? Interesting. Am I just doing things in a weird order? Dwarf tailoring costs extra, and it'll be more again for those fancy appliances. The tiniest slip of fabric gets caught in the gears, and like as you not, you'll end up standing naked in the street. That's a typical how do you do from Dolores. She's all hard as hobnails, even with her top customers. I'm actually here to pick something up, a police uniform. I see it right there on the racks. Molly sent me. You're to pick up, are you? Funny about skipping the part about my payment. Convince her to see it your way. Death. This character has gained the creative trait and will now be able to select dialogue options that require this trait. I'm doing you a favor by taking off your hands. You don't want police to find out you're peddling disguises here, do you? Otto even has a photographic imaging module to provide the evidence. Threatening me in my own shop. Just take the sodding thing, but don't ever darken my door again. Unless you've got some laundry needs doing, of course. Damn. I can put this on back at the workshop, and I'll use my mirror to make sure it fits. Man, I like Dolores. I didn't want to get on her bad side. I feel like that didn't need to be a threat. You know, you could have said like, yeah, it would be pretty bad to be peddling police disguises. Alright, put on the police uniform. Like a glove. Oh, I do look like the police. Look at my little bobby hat. Alright. Well, I said to check with the pet broker. Oh, the pet broker. I know him. And there's death. Got most of the cards. And with like 8 chapters to go, I feel like getting the others wouldn't be too hard. Alright. I'm gonna check in the sewers before I go asking around, just because that's where I know there to be a hideout. Oh, Otto is shiny. Wonder if that's because I oiled him up. Or if it's just the sun. Hey kitties, what are you doing? These are enjoying some sunlight themselves. Alright, yeah, hideout. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Now, I'm not really a tall man myself. And someone once said they identified me by my walk. I kind of wonder if I walk about the same as Teddy here. Because apparently it's peculiar enough that, like, somebody knows exactly what I look like. No cadaver here. Okay. Well. Sykes isn't in the place I thought he'd be. Watch me make some dialogue choices and then he'll appear right there. Alright. Let's pop into the Red Lotus. I think Atticus might be there, and he might have some gears for me. Oh, he's not at the tables. Yeah, come on. Get me up these stairs. It's Clem, the old reliable, good bartender and a better arm wrestler. Sorry, officer, I don't serve drinks while I'm Well, if it isn't everyone's favorite dwarf. And I know your reputation preceded you across all of London, Mr. Teddy. It's merely a saying, nothing more. I won't ask what made you want to become a bobby. Just know that you remain welcome here. Well, the truth, I haven't sworn fealty to Scotland Yard. The uniform I'm wearing just makes my contract a bit easier to fulfill. On the hunt, right? Funny how the other rat catchers get by with a net and some tongs, but just look at how you kitted out. Guns, tools, fancy goggles. Must be some big rats out there. Monster hunter, Clem. Not a rat catcher, although been known to hunt rats on the side, of course. I see. That makes you high and mighty then, big old monster hunter, eh? Never mind, Clem. I'll see you after my bounty's been paid. By the by, did you hear the tenements finally got their heat back? Must have been some smart engineering work that did that. Oh, of that I have no doubt. Good day now. Alright, Lefty, do you know anything? Lefty. What's your game, Rouser? Hope you're nay here for a shakedown, because I'm flat broke. It's me, you toff. Teddy Redgrave, I'm no stranger to dress up, but this really is something else. What's to be heard on the beat? Heard something untoward has come to pass around here lately. Ah, the poor lassie, I didn't know what's happened on London town these days. You wouldn't know who'd do such a thing, would you? Nah, I've run with some rough company now and then, but nay, outright monsters. You certain of that? Might never know a monster till you see it do something monstrous. Well, I knew a bloke named Poncho what was the bit of monster before the bobbies caught up with him. Head for a steam gurney fast as Polish steel, or a cannon like yourn. Sounds like a right tosser. Was with him when they caught him gunning him down. Dunno, but couldn't catch him. But couldn't catch me. Heard tell they could have caught me at any day. But let me gay. Out of kindness, I suppose. Ooh, about lazy fools couldn't I catch a cold. If they were trying, this is hard to read. Unless the cold was a bigger, lazier fool. And he wrote, there must be something better to talk about. Ask away. About the werewolf hunt. I'm keeping the bills paid, barely, but I've got a bit of a werewolf for England lined up. That'll keep me and Otto in the fish and chips for a while. I didn't need to tell you to mind yourself, yeah? Good. I prefer to do my scraping at the tables these days. Or not at all. I'm built for speed, not for pummeling. Still, carrying the whole cannon around with you, well, I'll see. I am. It'll stop anything short of a locomotive full of steam. And if it misfires, you can always club them to death. Oh, the Dockhound's bootlegging operation. Ran into something odd in one of my jobs. Can you believe those sneaky Dockhounds built a distillery and not a small one down in the sewers? And to power it, they were filching the steam from the poor tenement folk. I'd believe anything of that lot. I don't think one of them has ever seen the inside of a church. If they did, they'd like as not catch on fire. Ha! But didn't I hear you used to work with them? Nah. I used to work with old Molly back in my bullfrog days, but that was before all the mechanical arms and feet and faces nonsense. No offense. Too bad they can't fix them up with some mechanical brains. That'd sure be an improvement. For sure. I think I'll leave you to it, Lefty. Good to see you, though. Aye, you too, Redgrave. Keep them in line, Otto. That was kind of a dead end. I suppose I could have tried to sneak upstairs. I will avoid the police. Just seems like a good move when, impersonating an officer. Dante's shop. The storefront's frosted window panes shield the interior from the glaze of passerbys. Hiding the merchandise from would-be shop breakers, especially important now that Dante hardly ever opens up. Must be too busy with his new position at Arsenal. And Dante's not one to neglect his business. Just how pressing can his work for Silas be? Alright. Don't talk to the police. Sugarheart ain't no snitch. Nah. Unless, of course, am I a snitch? I might be a snitch. Restaurant. Have I ever been in here? Can I go in here? Ah, restaurant for those who can't cook. Bear. Smelly crate? Don't suppose I want to look in that. Alright, I need a lead on Sykes, the pet broker. Oh. And there's Chalamet Duval. Hello again, Redgrave. Pardon me, Officer Redgrave. How are things with you? Well, fine and dandy, as the people in London say. We're tracking down a man who can transmute his body into a wolf. Otto, a little subtlety. Oh, never mind. That's right, we got his name, Sykes, not much else. Some more intel might not go amiss. I've heard it bruited about town that you keep a close tab on police business in London. I was once employed as an inspector with the Met, and I like to keep abreast of their major cases, having my finger on the pulse, so to speak. It's useful in my current employ. ChatGPT says the word restaurant has its origins from 16th century France. The term is derived from the French word restaurateur, which means to restore, to refresh. In the 16th century, a highly concentrated, highly flavored soup sold by street vendors in Paris was advertised as restaurants for a remedy for physical exhaustion. That does sound actually kind of nice. Excellent. And perhaps you can help me. Yeah, I'm familiar with the man in question. Why is it you're after him? I can assure you he's not as guilty as Scotland Yard would have you believe. I have no intention of turning him over to the Yard or any other authorities. Since you don't have him, that doesn't seem to be of great concern. I have a business opportunity for him. It's even the truth from a certain perspective. Man in his position could stand to make some extra dosh, I think. Can you tell me where I can find him? I cannot. He's gone to ground. Shrewd move on his part. If Syke keeps out of sight long enough, the real culprit will hopefully come to light. Why are you so convinced of his innocence? I have access to certain testimony and evidence, which I am unable to divulge without the permission of my employer. But, as the former police inspector with many years' experience, I assure you my opinion carries weight. Fair enough. Thanks for your time. For now, I will bid you good day. You do find Sykes. I hope you'll consider what I've told you. Take care, Mr. Redgrave. You want some 16th century soup? I know, like, back in the olden days, it was really necessary to just keep a kettle on forever and just keep boiling things in that kettle. So, like, soup, 16th century soup probably tastes like everything. Which is probably actually pretty good. Mindy, where oh, hello. Always pleased to make an acquaintance of a fellow dwarf. Hi, name's Teddy Redgrave. Well met. And I am Otto the Automaton. It speaks? Fascinating. Sir Willard Rathbone at your service. And this here's Dulcimer. Does he mean the monkey on the shoulder or the ostrich he's riding? No matter. Might as well be referring to an imaginary friend. The fellow's plainly mad. Let's study the ostrich. It's a fine specimen of an ostrich I see there. I hope you're not feeding him exclusively on seed. Disotilodon. Alright, hang on. Crack knuckles. Pop back. Dicotyledonous plants. Hollyheck, for example, helps with their digestion, you know. I do know, sir, I do. But for some reason, I doubt you're here to discuss the digestive habits of Struthioniforms. Good lord. No, Sir Willett, I'm trying to locate a werewolf named Sykes. business to conduct with him. Of course, Sykes, yeah, of course, Sykes. I personally find the concept of a half-animal utterly fascinating. Imagine having the insight one must have into their world. The animal world, I mean. The insight into oneself. But do you know where I can find him? I know that he was involved in a torrid affair with one of the working girls at the Velvet Rose. He mentioned it to me one night during a hand of baccarat. Lycanthropes often have terrible time with human relationships, but then one can't very well carry on with a wolf, now can one? No, I should hope not. So you think he might have been at the Velvet Rose? Not at all. I haven't the foggiest where he might be. That was a pun, you see. I love amphibians. A fine natural example of versatility. Oh, he hasn't the froggiest. I read that wrong. Okay. So, leads, huh? Yeah, I guess we go back to the Velvet Rose and dig around. Funny story. Way back in early London days, the Queen had an ostrich. She had some sort of animal menagerie, you know, a little zoo. And at the time, people believed that ostriches ate iron. And so they fed the ostrich nails. I don't think the ostrich survived. So, given what we're talking about here in this game with the pet broker, I'm not sure if they would have known what ostriches eat at this point in time. I mean, assuming decent people could make an educated guess at what ostriches eat. Oh, I can't just walk upstairs, can I? I didn't think I was welcome. Let's see. Well, there's a Bobby up there. Pensive woman. Officer thought she hardly notices my appearance. Why, hello, officer. As you can see... Oh, what am I doing? I strive to ply my trade off on the street. What can Beatrix Aguirre do for you? You look like you have some strong arms, or one strong arm at any rate. Let's impress her with my specs. Indeed, grip strength of 120 pounds. I can hoist 160 over my head without much difficulty. My own design, albeit with components from Arsenal engines. I'm Teddy Redgrave, by the by. Let's not stray from the task at hand. Strong and smart, aren't you a catch? Good to have a well-built man around to open jars and move the mangle and things like that. Mr. Teddy, what does she mean by catch? She's saying she would like us to be friends, Otto. Oh, good. Listen, I'm looking for a fellow by the name of Sykes. Tall, rangy chap, an Irishman like me. Word is he's fond of the girls here. Hi, I know Mr. Sykes. I know him better than any girl here. What does a one-armed, one-legged dwarf want with him? He's a gambling buddy of mine. I had a rough night a whist last week, and he spotted me some tin. I now want to pay him back. That's right kind of you, Constable. Man can't have too many friends like that. But you won't find Sykes around here, I'm afraid. It seems she isn't inclined to cooperate with an officer of the law. I can assure you, Mr. Sykes isn't in any trouble. Failure. Oh, Copper's in the habit of asking around pleasure houses for someone who ain't in trouble? Got me there. I'll just make it harder on Sykes if you don't cooperate. If I'm to play the Bobby, best commit to the part. Else I'll be forced to take you for a trip down to the station. Looks could kill. I haven't made any friends here, that's for certain. So long as I get the information I need, it doesn't matter. If you must know, he's done the smart thing for once, locked himself away in the containment zone. Sykes is always careful not to hurt anyone during a full moon, but more than that, it's one place Bobbies won't mess with him. on account they don't like getting their limbs ripped off. Much obliged, Miss Beatrix. But then, you'd be familiar with the whole losing limbs business, wouldn't you, Flatfoot? You don't want to lose any more. You leave Sykes alone. I'd better get to the zone before the bobbies do. It's probably the best hiding place in London, but a smart copper could still sniff him out, no matter the danger. All right. I hear my kids have come home from school. I've got to call it quits for the day. Thank you so much for watching. You wish you lived in the days when all the men were in suits and the women were in dresses, and you really had a really cool pocket watch on a chain like a boss. Yeah. I wouldn't mind dressing like that. I'm not sure if I went back in time I'd be fortunate enough to be wearing those. But anyway, good night, everybody. Have a wonderful time. We'll probably play some more of this tomorrow, and then on Saturday night, I think we're going to start our playthrough of Coral Island. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, and if you watch it on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Every little bit helps, and any money I do eventually make just goes to making the quality of content on this channel better. Bye-bye, everybody.